Uh, Again, there's the little trail that goes off to the beach. There's a little wooded area right here. A lot of people like to camp in here, have little bonfires and stuff. We're coming up on the broken bridge now. Someone here from North Carolina is parked right here at the end of the bridge. They're probably out exploring like we are. Oh, there's a towel. There's some trash over here in the, like a sweatshirt of some sort, a hoodie. That's actually been there for a very long time. All right, so we're coming up on the broken bridge. This bridge was destroyed by Hurricane Michael. All that heavy water and excessive flooding came through and just wiped out the bridge. Here you can see part of the pads, and you saw all this on the satellite image. Here's the bridge itself. I know when I was a little kid, I used to come down here and we used to crab in this water. The mud back then was like really thick, and if you stood in a place too long, you could sink in real bad. It's horrible. But this area had a lot of crabs in it. Something else to mention, ever since the hurricane, this little sandbar was not here before. The sandbar kind of extended that way, but the Hurricane Michael changed the landscape, and with the currents and the water, it keeps pushing it this way and going that way. And then you have this stream that starts back here in the swamp, and it runs through and goes alongside the beach. We'll see all that in a minute. But the point I'm trying to make is, it seems like ever since it's been doing this, I feel like the water from the bay is not getting in here like it used to, because the water always seems to be so shallow nowadays. Used to, I could actually get in there and it'd be like knee deep. It'd be knee deep on me, and now it's got to where it's just a little over ankle deep. It gets between your ankles and your knees now. But this is actually part of the road right here. This part right here, this piece right here actually went over the bridge. This is what people drove on to get to Butler's, which was on that side of the road, across the bridge. Here's a look at the road from this point of view. It smells like dead fish down here. Now, the only time this water gets high now is when the tide's in, and if there's a lot of wind blowing. I imagine it still raises up, because this dirt right here, the edge is still pretty wet. So I know the water still comes up quite a bit, but I'm afraid it doesn't come a bit as it used to. There's a blue heron over there in the water, trying to catch some fish. Here's a close-up of these pylons down below. Yucky, icky mud. This pylon been cut in half. I bet somebody intentionally cut that pylon in half. That's probably the pylon like we saw in the swamp back yonder. This center beam says the whole wide world. Every time I come down here, I'm expecting for it to say something else. I'm expecting to say that, you know, F the world, or something like that. But here's a look at the broken bridge. You can see right here, there's signs of a fireplace or fire pit. People come down here and I guess camp out down here and have a little party. Alright, so we're standing on top of this bridge span right here. We're going to continue on here. We're going to go this direction on the water's edge as far as we can go. I went ahead and pinged this area so you can see where we're at on the satellite. We're going to move forward now here, go along this water, and you can see the stream goes back. And there's actually pieces of asphalt over here, here, and over there. And we're going to explore this swampy area here as much as we can. Looks like somebody's left a blue bucket, a blue container over here. I know during the summer months when it's hot, all this brown grass you see is tall and green. It actually gets up like waist high. I think I know what the smell is. That bucket has something dead in there. I can smell it from here. I always like this view of the water right here. To me, it looks so Jurassic. It looks so Jurassic, like you expect to see a dinosaur come up out of the woods. Maybe Native Americans out here with little spears, trying to spear fish. I see women washing clothes out here. I know it seems kind of crazy, but that's kind of my vision when I see this stuff. Along this water's edge, this little mud bank is the home of hundreds of different little fiddler crabs. They burrow little holes in the sand, call that home, and their little mouths, they filter through the mud and get detritus and things like that. I'm scared to look at what's in that blue bucket right there. I don't want to know what's in there, but I guess I'll have to take a look anyways. I don't really want to, but let's see what I can find. All right. It appears that there's like a deer carcass in that container with entrails in there. There's entrails. There's maggots and flies. It's disgusting. Makes me want to throw up. Smell is horrendous. Who would put a carcass of a deer in a bucket and leave it? I don't know why people do that kind of stuff. You know, just let it, if you're gonna do that, just leave it on the ground where it can just, you know, absorb back into the land, you know? That's one reason why law enforcement try to come down here and police these areas, because of reasons like this and garbage everywhere. You know, some locals don't have the respect this area that other locals have, and they trash the place. And which is another reason why they think about, you know, the ideas of developing the land for private use. And so we don't want that to happen. If you are one of those people who use this area as a garbage depot, you're wrong. You should be ashamed of yourself, okay? You should respect your local property, your local land. Here's a scene of the water. I don't know what it is, but I like that wall over there. I like everything about this place. I'm gonna do a lot of camping over here as much as I can possible. Here's a look back at the broken bridge. A little stream, a little peninsula. And over there, I don't know if you can see on camera or not, but there's a blue heron wading around the water, catching little bait fish. Little fella's hungry. All right, we're gonna move on here. There's a There's a trail on my right, kind of elevated up, which shows you how deep this water can get and deep it has been. There's quite a difference between here and here, several feet, at least probably 2.5 feet, 3 feet maybe. And I can tell you, as I walk on it, it's quite soft. Here's somebody's glove. There really is no telling what you might find out here in this muck. I mean, you're talking like waders, you know, rubber boots, nets, flashlights. I mean, you've heard the story I gave you about the guy who was out here crabbing by himself one night. All the stuff was left, found out here, where all you could find was his net, his flashlight, and his rubber boots. He also had a bucket of crabs with him. They were actually still in the bucket when they found them, but he was nowhere to be found. Why don't somebody leave their crabs out here? Anyways, this is the other side of the river here, the stream. We're going to cover all that in another video. But I've never actually walked out on this before. This has always been covered in water. It's just so peaceful out here. There's a gentle breeze, and it's gotten a little bit cloudy in the last few minutes. As I'm walking out here on this mud, hopefully I won't get stuck in it. But this is where I'm talking about putting in a paddleboard. This side of here seems to be a little deeper because it's not been revealed. As the tide goes out, this little muck island appears. And so this is the deeper side, I imagine. And from what I can tell, it's only about a foot deep, maybe. I'm not a pro when it comes to paddle boards. I'm not even good at riding them. But I'm thinking, you know, it might be deep enough to have a paddle board go through here. That I'll have to find out later. If you want to see true Florida, this is a teaser of what true Florida looks like. I mean, you got this Everglade type grass growing. You know, you got this marsh. You got these little freshwater streams. You know. I didn't bring any rubber boots with me on this trip. I don't have any right now. But I think with rubber boots, you could probably walk right through that stuff. It don't get very deep. This is about as far as I can go. Just a quick survey of the area. Looks like there's like a little slough that branches off. Probably an access point for gators. You know, I have a writer's mindset. You know, I have a lot of creativity, and so when I see a place like this, I think about all the stories I could write, all the scary or spooky or the horrendous, some really good horror stories and stuff about this place. I mean, I could really come up with some crazy stuff, I'm sure. Here's a look back at Butler Bay Road. The broken bridge is over there. It runs behind those trees on around. That's really about all I can get to from over here. We're gonna walk back and try to see what else we can find. You can see the tide must be coming in, or else the wind's just pushing it, but you can see the water coming in, the ripples are moving this direction. I like the way those palm trees are over there with all the underbrush. Looks very cool. I'm gonna have to drop a name here. I got a close friend I grew up with, Gilmore Pictures. He does a lot of eco tours and nature exploration videos. He would really like to come out here and look at this stuff. He grew up here too, so he's already familiar with it. But I don't know how much he's seen since he's been gone from the area. But if you're watching this, Mr. Gilmore, you should come on over here and we'll check this place out together. We get our paddle boards and look at it and explore as much as we can. By the way, Gilmore Pictures has a YouTube channel and a Facebook page, so look them up. In fact, I'll just go ahead and put a link in the description below for his videos and a link to his Facebook page. John Gilmore, Gilmore Pictures, he does a lot better job doing eco tours than I do. That's his profession, his expertise. He does a lot of cave diving, a lot of spring exploration, some hiking, mountain biking. He does a lot of that stuff. So if you're into that kind of stuff, or if you're interested in Florida outdoors, you definitely want to check him out because he's really good at what he does. Anyways, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to continue on this little exploration of the Butler Bay Road area.